66 million years ago, the world ended. It ended because a rock 10 kilometers wide arrived at precisely the wrong moment. But what if it missed? What if it was just 30 seconds late? You're standing in a forest of giant ferns. The air is thick, humid, heavy with the scent of decay and life. A Tyrannosaurus rex, 40 feet of muscle and teeth, moves through the trees. It is the apex predator on a planet that dinosaurs have ruled for 165 million years. It knows no fear. It has no idea its entire world is about to be erased. High above, invisible to any eye, the killer approaches. It is traveling at 72,000 kilometers per hour. A mountain of stone and ice screaming through the void on a collision course set millions of years before. And here's the part that changes everything. Recent simulations show that the location of the impact was its deadliest feature. It struck the shallow waters of the Yucatan Peninsula, the worst possible place. The impact instantly vaporized billions of tons of sulfur-rich rock. This aerosolized sulfur was blasted into the high atmosphere, creating a shroud that blocked the sun, not for days, for decades. Photosynthesis stopped, plants withered and died, the food chain collapsed from the very bottom all the way to the top. A long, dark winter began. But rewind the clock. Just 30 seconds. That's all it takes. In this new timeline, the Earth has rotated just enough. The asteroid misses the sulfur-rich peninsula. It plunges into the deep waters of the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean. The splash is monumental. A tsunami scours coastlines for 1,000 kilometers. The shockwave rattles the globe, but the deep ocean absorbs the worst of the impact. The deadly sulfur stays locked in the seabed. The sun is not blocked. The long winter never comes. The dinosaurs look up at a sky briefly filled with fire. They endure earthquakes and storms. And then they go on. They continue to hunt, to breed, to evolve. The age of reptiles never ends. Our tiny mammalian ancestors remain in the shadows, their destiny forever postponed. Nature, however, does not wait. If we never got our chance, what would have taken our place? The sky never burned. The long winter never came. For the next 66 million years, the Earth belonged to them, utterly. You are standing in a world not made for you. The air is thick, heavy with oxygen and moisture from forests that have never known an ice age. The ground beneath your feet trembles, not from an earthquake, but from footsteps. The tyrannosaurs did not vanish. They evolved. Meet Tyrannomega rex, a predator 3 tons heavier than its ancestor. Its skull is now almost a third of its body length, a fortress of bone and muscle designed for one purpose: to crush. Its bite force can now sever the armored leg of a ceratopsian in a single, catastrophic snap. The arms are gone completely, vestiges beneath the skin. They were, it turns out, unnecessary. And here's the part nobody talks about. The arms race didn't stop. The herbivores grew larger, their armor thicker. Ankylosaurs evolved overlapping plates, becoming living fortresses. A herd of 300 alamosaurs moves across the plain, each one weighing 80 tons. They are walking ecosystems, their movements shaping the very flow of rivers. This is a world of titans, and for millions of years, this brutal ballet of hunter and hunted was the only story that mattered. But evolution wasn't just working on size and power. Look closer. In the shadows of the giants, something else was stirring. In our world, the death of the dinosaurs was the beginning of our story. The small, cowering mammals finally had their chance. They exploded out of the darkness, growing larger, diversifying, and eventually, becoming us. But here, that never happened. For our ancestors, the age of terror never ended. Imagine their existence. A life spent in burrows, tasting the air for the scent of a predator 100 times your size. You only come out at night. Every shadow is a threat. Every distant roar freezes the blood. For 66 million years, mammals stayed small. They became masters of hiding, perfecting the art of not being eaten. They never inherited the earth. They were simply survivors, an evolutionary footnote on a planet that had moved on without them. So, if not the mammals, then who? If consciousness was destined to arise on this planet, where did the spark land? And now, pay attention to this. The answer was there all along, in the fossil record of our own world. We just never saw the full potential. We saw fossils of dromaeosaurs. You know them as raptors. We noted their large brain-to-body size ratio, their stereoscopic vision, and their complex social structures. We saw predators. We should have seen a beginning. 66 million years is a vast ocean of time, long enough for a clever hunter to become something more. You see them now, not as big as a tyrannosaur. They hunt in the twilight hours. They are leaner, their feathers now used for complex signaling, flashing patterns in the dim light. Their brains, proportionally, are the largest of any creature on this planet. Watch them hunt. It is not a mad rush of claws and teeth. It is a plan. 3 members of the pack drive a lone herbivore towards a narrow canyon. 2 others wait in ambush, having already blocked the exit with fallen logs. A trap. A coordinated multi-step strategy conceived and executed by a dozen minds working as one. This is beyond instinct. This is cognition. Yet we have always been obsessed with our own intelligence. We see it as the ultimate evolutionary prize. We assume it leads to hands, to tools, to fire. But that is a mammal's way of thinking. That is our story. What if intelligence could follow a different path? What if a mind, born in a cold-blooded reptilian brain, finally woke up? For 30 million years after the asteroid missed, the world found a new rhythm. A brutal, magnificent equilibrium. Giant titanosaurs weighing 80 tons carved rivers of mud through endless forests. Tyrannosaurs, even larger than their Cretaceous ancestors, perfected the art of the ambush. It was a world of titans, loud, violent, and seemingly static. But evolution never sleeps, and in the shadows of the giants, something was stirring, something quiet. You're looking at a world that seems locked in place, a permanent dynasty of scale and tooth, but you're looking in the wrong place. The future isn't with the giants, it's with the small, the fast, the clever. Meet Stenonychosaurus. You might know it by its old name, Troodon, barely 2 meters tall, weighing just 50 kilograms. It's no match for a T-Rex, not alone, but they are never alone. Watch, see how they move, not as a mob, but as a unit, a single mind with many bodies. They use signals, a flick of the tail, a low-frequency chirp you can feel in your chest. They are driving their prey into a trap. This is not instinct. This is a plan. Now, here is the part that should make the hairs on your arms stand up. Scientists measure intelligence potential using the encephalization quotient, or EQ. It's a ratio of brain mass to body mass. A crocodile has an EQ of about 1. A modern human is nearly 7. Stenonychosaurus, 66 million years ago, already had an EQ of 6, nearly the same as us. They had large, forward-facing eyes, giving them binocular vision, depth perception. They had grasping hands with a partially opposable finger. All the biological hardware was there. The only thing they lacked was time. And in this world, you have just given them 66 million years of it. So what happens next? We have this bias, this deeply human arrogance. We assume any intelligent life would follow our path. Fire, the wheel, cities of stone. Why? A creature with razor-sharp talons doesn't need to invent a knife. A hunter that can run 60 kilometers per hour has no use for a wheel. Their technology would not be built. It would be grown. Think about what that means. Instead of huts, they would learn to manipulate the growth of trees, weaving living shelters. Instead of fire, they would cultivate bioluminescent fungi, creating cold, silent light in the deep forest. Their language wouldn't be spoken. It would be a complex symphony of skin color changes, subtle postures, and infrasound. A silent, deadly conversation. This isn't a monster movie. This is the logical outcome of a different evolutionary path. An intelligence born not from a helpless scavenger trying to survive, but from a perfect predator trying to become even better. For millions of years, these saurian minds would have expanded, their packs becoming societies, their hunting grounds becoming territories. They would have watched the stars not with wonder, but with calculation. They would have studied the seasons, the migrations, the very mechanics of their world, all for one purpose: efficiency. And here is where the story takes a truly dark turn. The greatest minds in our history sought to understand the universe, to create art, to ask why. An intelligence born from predation would ask a different question: how to secure the food chain forever, how to remove all risk. In their world, the most persistent and annoying and protein-rich pests were the small, furry mammals cowering in the burrows, our ancestors. And a super-intelligent predator does not simply eradicate a pest. That's inefficient. It domesticates it. They wouldn't have built farms with fences. They would have engineered ecosystems. They would have bred our ancestors for docility, for taste. For 66 million years, humanity wasn't the master of the planet. It was livestock. For 150 million years, they ruled, unchallenged, a dynasty of giants written in stone. But they were not alone. You have to look closer, down here, in the dirt and the dark. That's where you lived. Your world is measured in shadows. You smell the rain on the giant ferns long before you feel it on your fur. You hear the tremor of a footstep, 100-ton Argentinosaurus from a kilometer away. It is a vibration that travels from the soil into your bones, a constant low hum that reminds you of one simple truth: you are small and you are prey. Scientists in another world would call your kind purgatorious, a proto-primate, the earliest, most distant echo of what could one day become a thinking mind. But here in this unbroken timeline, that potential means nothing. You are not a beginning. So you are a permanent afterthought. The night is your only true ally. By day, you hide in a burrow, the scent of damp earth filling your lungs. By night, you emerge. You hunt for beetles, their hard shells cracking between your tiny, sharp teeth. Every rustle in the undergrowth sends a jolt of pure adrenaline through your heart, which beats 600 times a minute. A Compsognathus darts past, too close. You freeze, every muscle rigid, the musky scent of reptile flooding your senses. You do not breathe for a full minute. Survival is a series of seconds, stolen moments between terrors. And here is the part that nobody ever talks about. Inside that tiny, terrified skull is a brain, a surprisingly large one for your size. You see a grub deep inside a rotten log your claws cannot reach, but you do not give up. You remember. You saw a sharp twig yesterday near the creek bed. You retrieve it. You poke. You prod. The grub is yours, a tiny victory in a world that offers none. It is a flicker of genius, a spark of what could be. But a spark is not a fire, not in this world. The ecosystem above you is locked. Every role for a large animal is already taken. By teeth, by claws, by titans of flesh and bone. There is no evolutionary ladder for you to climb. There is only the burrow, the dark, the waiting. For millions of years, this is your story. Your entire lineage is born, lives, and dies within sight of the same tree, under the shadow of the same giants. An existence of quiet desperation, a mind full of potential, trapped inside a body that must never, ever be seen. A ghost in your own world. Think about what that means. A mind that could one day contemplate the stars is instead focused entirely on the sound of a predator's breathing. Forever. But what happens when 100 million years of fear finally turns into something else? What happens when one of you decides to stop hiding? It all came down to a single moment, a specific point in space and time. 66 million years ago, a rock the size of a mountain screamed through the atmosphere. It struck the shallow waters of the Yucatan with the force of 10 billion atomic bombs. A cosmic roll of the dice. And our world was born from the ashes of another. For 165 million years, they had ruled. Dinosaurs. They were not lumbering failures waiting for extinction. They were a biological dynasty, masters of every continent. In their shadow, our ancestors scurried, tiny shrew-like mammals hiding from the titans, creatures like Simolestes, no bigger than a rat, living life in the dark. Their survival strategy was simple. Stay small, stay hidden, and wait. Think about the sheer time scale. 165 million years. Modern humans, Homo sapiens. I have existed for barely 300,000, a rounding error in their timeline. Their world wasn't ending, it was just interrupted. So what if the asteroid had missed? What if that interruption never came? Evolution doesn't stop, it finds a way. You've seen the brain casts of later Cretaceous hunters like Troodon. They had unusually large brains for their body size. Their eyes faced forward, giving them binocular vision. They had grasping hands. The raw materials were there. It wasn't a guarantee of intelligence like ours, but it was a possibility. And here is the thought that keeps paleontologists up at night. Consciousness may not be a uniquely mammalian trick. It might be an emergent property of complex nervous systems, regardless of their origin. A mind born of scales, not skin. A civilization without fire, perhaps. Or cities built from living wood, not dead stone. We see our own intelligence as the pinnacle, the inevitable outcome. But was it? Our existence is a beautiful, improbable accident. We are the children of catastrophe, the beneficiaries of a random, violent act that cleared the stage for us. We look at the stars and wonder if we're alone. But perhaps the more profound question is not about life elsewhere in the universe, but about the other lives, the other minds that were denied their chance right here. If that rock had flown past and another intelligence eventually gazed up at this same moon, would it see the same patterns in the darkness? Would it feel the same wonder?